Final update. Okay everyone, this is it, the final update. And holy tortilla, do I have news. First, thank you to everyone who's been following this disaster. Your support has meant everything during what's been the most stressful 2 months of my life. So when we last left off, I was meeting with my lawyer about wrongful termination, and Marcus's wife's attorney wanted my testimony. Here's everything that's happened since. I provided a deposition for Marcus's wife's divorce proceedings. I gave emails showing Amy visiting the office for late-night meetings with Marcus 8 months before his separation, Slack messages, where Marcus asked me to add Amy to the building access list as a vendor before she was officially hired. Photos from the company holiday party 9 months ago, where Marcus and Amy were very clearly together. Credit card receipts I'd processed showing Marcus expensing romantic dinners with Amy as client meetings. Marcus had been claiming in court that his relationship with Amy began after his separation, and that his wife was being vindictive. My evidence proved he was lying under oath. The judge was not happy. Marcus's wife got a significantly better settlement. I can't share exact numbers because of the confidentiality agreement, but let's just say Marcus is going to be hurting financially for a long time. She sent me a gift basket and a thank you card that made me cry. She'd suspected the affair but couldn't prove it. My documentation gave her the evidence she needed. Remember the employee whose harassment complaint Amy mishandled? Her lawsuit against the company went to settlement. I was interviewed as part of the discovery process. During my interview, I provided the original complaint and proper protocol for handling it, Amy's email to Marcus discussing the complaint, huge confidentiality violation, evidence that I'd tried to warn leadership about Amy's incompetence, documentation that the company prioritized protecting Marcus over protecting the employee. The employee settled for an undisclosed amount, rumor mill says mid-6 figures. 3 other employees who witnessed the mishandling are now also filing complaints. The company's liability insurance is apparently fighting them on coverage because of willful misconduct. This is the big one. My lawyer built a case arguing. 1. I was fired to make room for the CEO's girlfriend. Discriminatory termination. 2. I was the only person who could do the job properly, evidenced by them begging me to consult after I left. 3. The company retaliated against me for refusing to participate in covering up Marcus's affair. 4. My firing directly led to legal violations. The harassment case, we had a mediation session 3 weeks ago. The company's lawyers came in confident. They argued my position was legitimately restructured and Amy was a qualified candidate. Then my lawyer dropped the hammer. He screenshots of the company posting my exact job, same title, same responsibilities. On LinkedIn 2 weeks after I left, proof the position wasn't eliminated. Emails from the VP begging me to consult on issues Amy couldn't handle. Amy's complete lack of HR qualifications versus my 8 years of experience. The timeline of Amy's relationship with Marcus, evidence that 4 other women in leadership positions had been pushed out over the past 3 years when Marcus started new relationships. We found them during discovery. They all signed NDAs but were willing to testify. The company's lawyers asked for a recess. They came back 20 minutes later with a settlement offer. I can't disclose the exact amount because of my NDA, but I will say, it's more than 3 years of my salary. They're covering my legal fees, they're providing a glowing reference letter. They agreed to a stipulation that the settlement was for wrongful termination. Important for my record, I'm barred from disparaging the company publicly. Hence why I'm keeping details vague. I accepted. Now here's where it gets really interesting. 2 weeks after the settlement, I got a call from a former co-worker who still works there. Marcus has been asked to step down as CEO. The board finally had enough after the divorce revealing his affair and perjury, the sexual harassment settlement, my wrongful termination settlement, 3 more women coming forward about being pushed out, the company's insurance provider threatening to drop them. He's pursuing other opportunities. Translation. He was fired but they're letting him save face. And Amy lasted exactly 6 weeks as HR manager before being moved to special projects coordinator. A made-up role where she can't do damage. She's basically being paid to stay quiet and not sue for being demoted. They hired an actual experienced HR director from outside the company who is apparently spending full time fixing Amy's mistakes. I used part of the settlement to pay off my student loans. The rest is invested. I took a month off to decompress and process everything. I started therapy because this whole experience was genuinely traumatic. Last week, I accepted a position as Director of HR at a company I've admired for years. Better title, better pay, better culture. They heard about my case, it was semi-public due to the court filings, and specifically recruited me because they wanted someone with integrity. My new CEO is a 60-year-old woman who has been married to her wife for 30 years. No messy affairs to navigate. People keep asking if I regret how I handled this. Honestly, no. Could I have just taken the severance and walked away? Yes, it would have been easier. But I would have watched that company implode, knowing I could have done something. I would have watched Amy destroy people's lives with her incompetence. I would have watched Marcus get away with lying, cheating, and destroying women's careers to benefit his girlfriends. Sometimes doing the right thing is expensive, stressful, and risky. Sometimes it means lawyering up and fighting even when people tell you to let it go. But I sleep really well at night now. To everyone telling me I should have just been grateful for the job and moved on, I was grateful. I gave that company 8 years of loyalty, expertise, and dedication. They thanked me by throwing me away for a 24-year-old with no qualifications who happened to be sleeping with the boss. I don't owe them my silence. To the people calling me bitter or jealous, maybe I am a little bitter. But I'm also vindicated, compensated, and employed somewhere better, so I'll take it. And to Amy, if you're somehow reading this, and given your obsession with social media, you probably are, I hope you learn something from this. I hope you realize that sleeping your way into a job you're not qualified for doesn't just hurt the person you replaced, it hurts every employee who depends on you to do your job correctly. That harassment victim deserved better than you. The company deserved better than Marcus. And I sure as hell deserved better than what they did to me. So that's it. That's the end of this saga. I'm moving on with my life, my therapy, and my new job. Thank you all for the support, advice, and for making me feel less alone during this nightmare. Am I still the asshole? I don't really care anymore. I know I did the right thing.